Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday from me and the fucking rascal. Anyway, I am going to do a presentation on check-ins. Obviously, this is updated as of January 2026. So we're just going to go over, obviously, the check-in protocol so that we all understand and adhere. So this is just going to be a quick video. So what is a good check-in? There's no such thing as a good check-in. The only good check-in is the one that you showed up for. Regardless of if your week is stressful, shit, amazing, successful, week, whatever it may be, the one you showed up is the good check-in. But there is actually a thing called a bad check-in, and that is the one that you fucking missed. You dodge like a bullet, you feel like you can't tell me anything, or you're like, oh, there's nothing to say. And I get sometimes, you know, for example, if something's happened, or you know, there's been an emergency, or maybe we've communicated every single day and you've kept me updated, like that is absolutely fine. As long as there's always some sort of communication is really important. And for example, if you are someone that is struggling, you know, to check in, then again, it's, you know, we put other things in place so that we're still getting that communication, so we're still driving forward, right? One thing I will say, if you are struggling, if you don't communicate, I am not a mind reader and I won't know, and I won't be able to help you in the way that I can help you. So it is really important that you do check in, or you do speak to me in some sort of way. You all know that I am very relatable. I'm fucking real, I will help you, that is my job. I am not this fucking scary big wolf. I'm not going to shout at you. If anything, I'm going to help you, which is absolutely my job. I'm going to encourage you, etc, etc. Now, I've been there when I've been with coaches before who, for example, gave me into trouble for having an off plan, or ignored what I was saying, etc, etc. But I'm not like that. I am very much a good fucking coach. So obviously, check-in protocol, how it works is I want clear, full body pictures. So please don't just send me a picture of your shoulder, send me full body pictures. I know it's uncomfortable, trust me, I've fucking been there myself. The first pictures I ever took after I had Leo, I looked like a fucking criminal. So it doesn't get much worse than that. And I always say, like, you know, take the pictures because you want to be able to reflect back on that and actually see how hard you come. Sometimes I have like down days, or I feel like I'm not progressing and whatever phase I'm in, and I just have to look back and I'm like, oh, do you know what? I've came a fucking long way. So it's that wee reminder sometimes that we all need. Please make sure your Sheets and app is filled up with as much information as we can. If you're struggling with that, say for example you're on the G Sheets and you're struggling with that, you're like, oh, I'm really, can I take to it or whatever, or it's making you feel overwhelmed. Remember, there's more than one ways to skin a cat. There's more than one ways to collect data, okay? Give me a brief rundown, a brief summary of how your week, you know, just any, generally just like, this is how my week roughly went, this is kind of things that's maybe happened, or anything that you're wanting to voice, just hit it up. Obviously, you can talk to me at any point throughout the week. Obviously, I'm off for Sunday, but I would always reply back the Monday. But you please don't wait for your check-in to tell me something that you've maybe achieved, or if you're struggling, don't wait until your check-in. Like, I am here. You can communicate with me. I'm not going to fob you off. Or I'm not going to, again, I've been with coaches who take fucking days to respond, and boom, the weeks went past. So I'm not like that. I am here, I'm available. Also, I think it's really important to highlight a win of your week, so something that you are positive about, something you've maybe achieved. It doesn't need to be the scales, it doesn't need to be, you know, whatever you're lifting in the gym. Sometimes it is surviving. Trust me, again, I've been there, where some weeks, you know, you're just glad you made it to the end, and that is okay, that's still a win. I think it's really important that we highlight the goodness, because the more you highlight goodness, the more you feel good. And this is all to be said via WhatsApp directly to me. Check-in policy, please make sure to check in your allocated day. I have a set amount of people every single day, and if you're missing a check-in and I'm having to move you to the next day, we are only filling up. I know that sounds like, oh fucking hell, Nicola, but I also don't just do check-ins. I have so much to do in my own work life, in my own personal life. Oh, fucking look at this cat. My fucking cat life, my responsibilities, right? So just acknowledge that I give you a day. If that day does not suit, then you just communicate with me. If, for example, you're on night shift and you know we need to change things up, that's absolutely fine. Just give me a heads up. Don't message me like 1 minute before your check-in's supposed to be submitted and say, oh, by the way, I'm not making it today. Please just communicate with me, give me that wee bit of a notice. Check-ins must be submitted before 11 AM UK time, and this is actually very lenient. People I know are like 9 AM cut off and all that fucking crap. So I'm giving you a good amount of time here. Again, just stick to it because I am obviously ahead in time. It just means that it plays in with my schedule. Please check in with all the information and the data that has been asked of you. I get sometimes you don't want to take the pictures and you maybe think like, oh, I'll just take it next week. Like, that's fine. Again, communicate. There might be a reason behind that. Maybe you forgot the pictures, maybe you're just not feeling great. Again, it's just communicating that. Any questions I'm going to ask that you please write it down. I know that a lot of you do like to voice note me, and I'm absolutely fine with voice notes, but if there's any questions in it, then please write it down, because sometimes I actually have to listen to the voice note on my phone and type as you're talking, because otherwise I just forget, right? Because if I've got like a 10-minute voice note or 5 to 10 minute voice note, you know, there's a lot of information that I need to try and remember, and if there's something that's important in there and I've missed it, you know, I might have to go through the voice note again, or that's information that could be missed, right? So any questions, any issues must be written down if that's okay. Please acknowledge your feedback, whether that's just hearting it, whether it is writing back to me. I'm here for a chit chat, don't be scared. And please watch your feedback. I'm not going to chase you and say, come on, please watch your feedback. This is your responsibility, this is your part of the agreement here. You know, I'm showing up, you're showing up for your check-in, I'm showing up for the feedback, therefore you must watch feedback. If you're not watching the feedback, you're only, it's like, you know, why are you checking in? Obviously that's not what I mean, but you know what I mean, if you're not willing to take on the next step, we need to put that bit of effort in. If you'd obviously prefer a voice note or a message instead of a Loom video, then again, please let me know. I can see if you've watched your video as well, so but I am not going to chase you. You must have to do that yourself. We are all grown women here, so it's part of the deal. How to do progress pictures. So I think it's really important if you're doing posed pictures that you also do unposed, and I think it just creates a good relationship with your body, right? You'll see on Instagram, you'll see bodybuilders, they all obviously pose, and it's to enhance the physique, it's to bring out the best quality of that physique, you know, bring out the glutes or the delts or the biceps, whatever it may be. And I think it's really important. I've been there myself when I have been at my leanest version and then see reversing into like a normal physique. Like, it's really hard, and it's really hard to disconnect from what a natural normal body looks like. So, and I think again, like, social media plays a lot to do with that, and it can be quite a mindfuckery. So I do think that if you're someone that is doing pose pictures, so whether that's front double biceps, whether that's back double biceps, a wee hip pop at the side, like, all these things are obviously going to enhance and bring out the muscle, bring out the pop. That I think is really important that you do just normal relax as well, because you know, we don't walk about with our biceps on show, if only. But yeah, I think it's just it, and it honestly will just allow you to have a better body image with yourself, a better relationship with how you see your body as well. So obviously there's just some unposed as well. Me fucking dragged out of a bush. Make sure your progress pictures are front, side and back, clear images and in the same location if possible. I know sometimes you can't help these things if your child's sleeping or you know you're away, whatever, like that's absolutely fine, and preferably in the same underwear. So, but again, don't stress out about these things, but I would encourage you to do it in like a brand pants, sports brand pants. If you're really like not comfortable, then like shorts. It just allows me, like, I have literally had check-in before, like years ago, and the person was like in jeans, fully covered. Now I can't do it that, right? I can't see your full body, therefore we can't actually see what's going on. We need to see the skin. I know it's uncomfortable, trust me, I get it. But as I said, you're going to look back and be like, fuck yeah, I'm glad I've done that. Some extra information is one thing that helps is a tripod. Now you can get a tripod like £5 to £10. Things like ring light if it's obviously dark in the morning when you're taking it. What I always done before, when I was obviously on a prep and I was like military operation, I would sit everything out the night before, to the point I was so anal that the ring light would be sitting in an exact position. Honestly, too far. But what I do is video and then I screenshot it, or even balancing your phone on like a worktop so that we can see the full length of yourself. And then obviously asking any questions you might have. As I says, you can ask these at any time, and just let me know how you're feeling. I think it's important that we're not just on a journey of, you know, dropping pounds on the scale or dropping dress sizes, like also tuning in to generally how you're feeling. So let me know if any issues, etc, etc. But hopefully that's covered up some info on check-in. But remember, it is your responsibility to check in, please. Yeah, that is your part in the deal. Happy to be. Oops, not finished yet.